What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Boruto Manga chapter 67. In particular, I'm going to be talking about my expectations / predictions for this chapter. So let's start off by talking about what happened at the end of last month's chapter that left us on such a huge cliffhanger. So this cliffhanger was arguably the biggest cliffhanger we've gotten in this whole series so far, chapter by chapter, of course. And the cliffhanger was that we saw Boruto down on the ground, lifeless, with a hole in his chest thanks to Kawaki. Naruto was stunned. Code was like whatever, but he was still looking like he was interested. Shikamaru was stunned. And pretty much that was the big cliffhanger for this chapter. And that is pretty huge because Boruto's the main character, of course. So that left people to believe, how is this guy going to come back alive? Because we do know he is alive post-timescape, of course. So the question here is, how are they going to bring him back? That's one of my biggest questions. And to be honest, I do believe that somehow Momoshiki's going to have some type of powers to heal him or something like that. That's one of my guesses. Another guess I have is that maybe this was some type of plan that Boruto and Kawaki conducted like off screen. And this might lead to Boruto just escaping right now and going rogue. Maybe this will make Code and Ada even think that he's dead, so they won't even look for him. So Ada might not even be able to necessarily find him or something of that sort. I'm just tossing around ideas, to be honest, for that. But I do think Boruto kind of becoming like a rogue ninja would be a cool concept. I just don't know if they would actually do it. But I do think that it would be a really cool concept because they do parallel him with what Sasuke used to be. And even though, you know, he's not like some revenge-obsessed guy like Sasuke was at the time, Boruto does parallel him in many ways. So it could be cool to see him go down a route where we follow him pretty much going through, you know, on a journey, traveling through training, getting stronger, trying to figure out a way to control this whole Momoshiki mess and his karma mess. And that could be something cool if they do decide to go down that way, which I'm not sure if they will. Let me know what you guys think of that. But as for what I'm really expecting this chapter, I'm expecting Naruto to throw some hands this chapter. I really think it's going to happen because he's been kind of on the sidelines for the last two. He has saved people twice now. So that's what he's done these last two chapters. But he hasn't really gone into action necessarily yet. And I think one of the ways that could really happen this chapter is if Sasuke shows up freeing Shikamaru, so that we end up getting Sasuke and Naruto versus Code. And I think right now this could be a really good battle because Code has these limiters on him. And even though Kawaki thinks that Naruto would lose to him, at the same time, if both of those two are together, they are at least going to give him a really good fight, and perhaps together they might even defeat him. So there is a chance of that, and I do think that that could be a good potential fight for them to throw in. As for if they actually do it, we will see what they come up with. But when it comes to Naruto, another way we could see him in action is maybe, just maybe, he might get a little physical with Kawaki if Kawaki doesn't listen to his reasoning. That's just another guess. What I really think is going to happen this chapter, though, is we're obviously going to get a lot of focus on Boruto. How will Boruto survive? Or will Boruto maybe be knocked out for this whole chapter and then they'll be dealing with Code? That's always a possibility as well. I do think, though, that we're going to get Boruto somehow back on his feet this chapter. Or if not, they're at least going to find some type of way to keep him alive, at least for now. In the meantime, what I'm really expecting to happen action-wise this chapter is a Kawashiki versus Code battle. And this will be very interesting because Borushiki was about to beat Code. I know Code was just evading and all, but Ada warned Code too that he was fighting a losing battle. So Kawaki, if he was giving Borushiki some work last chapter, imagine now if he fights Code. Maybe they would be even. Maybe Kawaki would edge him out. Who knows? Maybe Kawaki would dominate him right now in this Kawashiki state. It's very possible, especially with Ishiki's abilities, which makes Kawaki a lot more OP now. It could go down anyway, but I really got a feeling Code is going to be involved in this chapter because he has been kind of just sitting on the side and watching now for 2 chapters straight. And now that you have Boruto out of the equation for a little bit, it might be time for Code to step back in, and maybe it'll be time for Sasuke to finally show up. So overall, to sum it up, I know this has been a little over the place. I'm expecting Naruto in action. That's one of my predictions / expectations. I'm expecting a Kawaki versus Code or Kawashiki versus Code battle to at least happen for a few panels. I'm expecting us to get a lot of expansion on this whole Boruto and Momoshiki thing. Something that I do also think to add in that will happen is we're going to get a Boruto and Momoshiki interaction in this chapter, kind of like how you would get like the Naruto and Kurama ones in the Naruto chapters. So that is also another possible outcome for sure. Another thing that I would really hope for is that Sasuke does show up. I'm starting to fear now that there's a chance this arc might just end, and then we're finally going to see Sasuke towards the end just apologizing to them, saying sorry, I was on a hunt elsewhere for Code, and I'm sorry I couldn't help you guys. Sorry for what happened to Boruto. Sorry for what happened to everybody. That is something that I think could happen too, and I hope they don't go down that route, but I'm not going to be terribly mad if they do, but I wish Sasuke would rather be involved. Lastly, and probably the most important prediction I have, this chapter, or at least before the end of this arc, I'm thinking this chapter is the chapter where Boruto loses his eye somehow. I think somehow, some way, Boruto might be okay this chapter, and then Code is going to be the one, I believe, to deliver the blow to his eye. And I think it can't really be anyone but Code, because the claw marks make most sense. But whether that happens now or later, or who knows, maybe they'll plan another arc before the time skip. Wouldn't that be crazy? And that'll be when Code strikes. I personally hope that's not the case. I hope that if they're going to do the Boruto eye thing, that they remove it, or they cause this injury sometime in this arc rather than another arc. But we'll see what direction they go. I do think this is the chapter, though, for that to happen. Let me know what you guys are expecting for this chapter in the comments below. Are you excited for it? Are you disappointed with how they did Boruto last chapter? What are your thoughts on how they're doing Naruto so far? Do you guys think Sasuke should show up, or do you think will he show up? Will Shikamaru escape from Code? Will Code be involved in the battle? The questions can go on and on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Hope you guys have a good day or night. I'm Rewinds, and I'm